Hello there, and welcome to the Disgustingly Healthy Relationship Podcast. I'm Lewis.
And I'm Sarah.
And we are your hosts.
Beautiful people, it's 2024. We are no longer settling for mediocre, toxic, and shitty relationships.
Instead, we are choosing healthy, secure, and conscious love.
Lewis and I are here to challenge and expand you on all fronts when it comes to healthy relationships.
So, if you're ready for unfiltered conversations
and massive impact,
then let's play.
Hello and welcome back to the show.
It's almost like that's pre-recorded now, isn't it?
I know, it should really be pre-recorded.
Yeah, why did we not just... Nah.
I like it in the moment. Anyway, welcome to episode 10.
Oh my God.
Double D-Jats.
Double figures.
How good.
I know. That's so good.
We are so good.
So today we wanted to talk to you about periods. But if you're a guy, this absolutely applies to you. So please continue listening. Do not stop listening now just because you think that it's about periods, which is about girls or women with reproductive systems.
Wow.
It's not. This episode is probably more for you than it is for anyone else.
Yeah. In this episode, I will help make more sense of the different phases of how Sarah goes about her cycle, how we go.
How I go about it.
Sorry.
As if I'm like planning it all ahead. Like
how we go about Sarah's cycle and what I notice from the outside and when to give Sarah some grace and when, everything's on point, then we know. And yeah, I don't really know how else to explain it. Really.
Yeah. So the reason that we wanted to bring this up is because it's something I've said this to you heaps, haven't I? Like it's the thing that I didn't know that I needed in a relationship or from a partner is like that level of understanding of the cycle, like you having that level of understanding.
Yeah.
And now that I have it, I'm like, oh my God, I could never not have someone that has that level of knowledge and like patience and comprehension of like what the different parts of the cycle mean.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of guys generally don't. And that's just because generally speaking, we live in a man's world where everything is on a 24-hour cycle. Like, we wake up, we're expected to focus for this amount of time, go to bed, and this is supposed to be on repeat every single day, pretty much, or 5 days a week when you're working. But actually, like for a woman, we operate on a very different cycle. Most of us around 28 days, which would be our menstrual cycle. And during that 28 days, there are lots of different like ebbs and flows. So different kind of energy levels, different capacities, different like emotional states that come with the cycle. And I think men, understandably, just based on the society that we live in, have this underlying assumption that we are all the same. We have the same capacity, the same energy, the same mood, the same motivation throughout the month, but we don't. And it's been really helpful to be with a partner that really like understands what it means to go through your different phases. I always consider it like, this might be helpful for guys, I always consider it as like the seasons. So like we, in our cycle, in the 28 days average, we'll go through like 4 different seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, no, 100%. I think with that being said, I don't know where my mind was going there, but why does that always happen?
I don't know. You just start dating.
I'm fine without the mic, but then...
You're nervous. He's nervous, everyone. He's nervous for a microphone. He's really nervous.
No, seriously, so women do operate on a 28-day cycle on average, and we're going to speak on averages during this, and you're right, it does come almost like the seasons. It's a good way to describe it. How would you describe menstruation then?
That's winter.
What season's that?
That's winter, 100%. Yeah. You just like slow down, your mood's lower, your energy's lower, your motivation's lower. Like traditionally, apparently, I remember reading about this. Maybe someone fact check it, but like traditionally, like historically, women would go into like the red tent, is what it was called, and they would just go in there when they were on their period.
Never even heard
and not move. They would just stay still for like 3 days, basically, while they were on their bleed. Because back then they didn't have things like tampons and pads and stuff, so they just would stay in this red tent and bleed in a red tent. I don't know what else went on in there, like in terms of sanitary, but this is historic, so probably not a lot.
That sounds grim.
But yeah, women would just really slow down, hunker down, like be amongst other women in that time.
Yeah.
But in this world, it's like we're still expected to show up to work and we still put the pressure on ourselves to train during that time. Well, I personally don't, but like a lot of people, they expect the same women in particular expect the same capacity of themselves throughout the entire month, but that's not actually what's good for our body, and that's not how it has to be, I guess.
No, not at all. And we'll go into that a little bit as we go through this, but we'll start off with naming the actual 4 phases of the menstrual cycle. So number 1 is
the follicular.
correct.
I froze, I panicked, I nearly didn't get it. I was like,
I pointed at Sarah there.
You knew that.
Yep. So the first phase is the follicular phase. The second phase is
Hang on, we'll just go through them one by one, shall we?
Yeah, sure. So phase 1, just after menstruation. So just after you've had your last, little spotting bleed, between days 1 to 12 or to 14, depending on how your cycle sort of goes, is called the follicular phase. So that's phase 1. What I tend to find when Sarah is in this phase is she's a lot more high energy, a lot more spontaneous and affectionate, and shows a lot more like attentiveness, I think, during that phase. You've got a lot more energy.
Yeah, I can feel it. I literally I give you this look and you're like, oh no. And you literally know, like you'll say, oh no, your estrogen's rising. Because that's what happens during this phase is your estrogen rises, and that's kind of like the feel good, like happy hormone, I guess. So I can literally, I don't use any contraception. I use a platform called Natural Cycles. It's an app which we'll get to later, but that's my form of contraception. So there's no artificial hormones. So I don't take them. So I'm very in tune with my body. So I notice every sort of shift and every sort of phase of my cycle as it comes. I notice my mood, my energy, and so does Lewis. He's very much in tune with that as well. But I can literally feel like the day that my estrogen starts to rise, so my feel good hormone, I can tell, and I literally will look at you and you'll be like, oh my God, you've literally got hearts in your eyes, like, oh dear. And then you know that for the next, like, I don't know, maybe week or 2 weeks, I'm going to be almost like a pest, just like, oh, I just love you so much, and oh my God, look at you, I just love you, and like I just keep like kissing you, and it's like super affectionate.
Yeah, Sarah would effectively be humping my leg if she was a dog.
If I was a dog, okay.
Actually, no, that's kind of wrong. Maybe veering towards the end of the follicular phase, moving into the ovulation phase. So the ovulation phase is obviously number 2, so phase 2. With that, obviously, ovulation occurs, and what tends to happen is in females, the estrogen is almost at its peak, and there's been no like progesterone, so progesterone ends up decreasing sex drive just after ovulation, but that hasn't started to rise yet. So as estrogen is hitting its peak, Sarah ends up getting super affectionate. As it's ovulation, she gets very horny. And I think that's just a survival thing, really. I think
survival is just me trying to survive in this household.
Maybe not survival, sorry, that's the wrong word, but
a primal thing.
I think it's a primal thing for just having babies, and
that's why we have those hormones in that way.
Yeah.
So that we want to procreate.
Yeah.
That's literally what it's there for.
Yeah.
But like for girls that are listening, you'll know what I mean. Like when the estrogen starts to rise, it's when you come out of that like post-period funk. Like, when your periods come in and you're like, I hate the world, and like things feel wrong and everything feels bad, and then you get your period and you're like, oh no, okay, everything's right. So like when you get your period, that is just as your estrogen will start to rise. So you'll notice that shift, girls, when you have that like sudden clarity where you're like, oh no, it was just my period. Like, I don't hate the world and everything is actually fine. And I feel kind of good again. Like, you'll know that transition.
Yeah.
That is when your estrogen is coming in. And guys, you'll probably notice the same kind of thing. Like, she stops being such a bitch. Stops being so irritable.
Stops being so naggy and like at you all the time. Not that you are.
I was going to say, am I at you all the time?
You're actually not at all. You're actually really good at.
I really don't know myself.
Bar 1 or 2 days, but we'll talk about
We'll get to that.
Anyway.
The crossroads.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that's what I tend to find I see in Sarah. So as a guy, just roll with it.
It's nice.
In the first like 15 to, I guess, first 15 days of a woman's cycle, where you've went through your follicular phase and then your ovulation phase coming out of that, just roll with it.
Is there anything that you think I need in that phase? or anything that you consciously or unconsciously do?
No, not really. I think I'm pretty consistent during that time. You need less, if anything. Um, I still give you a consistent amount of love and care and
Yeah. I just wondered if there was
all
anything
the
that
rest of it, but I don't think there's anything like special that I go out of my way and do during that phase. I think I'd maybe buy you flowers or something like that in that phase to
enhance the feel good.
enhance the oh my god, I just love you so much kind of
You're trying to capitalize on it when it disappears
pretty much
a week later.
So I'm like getting in like your good brownie points in that phase before the next phase, which is
wait, hang on a second, there's something I was going to add on that. I think you have to like tolerate's not the right word, but like because I'm more affectionate, you have to deal with, doesn't even sound like the right word either, but like no. I say I love you probably more. I'm like, oh, I just love you so much. Yeah. Like I say that a lot, and you're like, okay, like yeah, I love you too. Like
I wouldn't say deal with, but I feel like just
roll with it.
Embrace.
Yeah. Okay, I get what you said.
Just embrace it. So yeah, that's why I said that. But yes, so phase three is
ovulation.
The luteal phase. We went through ovulation already.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oops.
We were just talking about it.
I didn't realize we did it as the whole thing. Okay, so we did the follicular phase, which is phase 1.
Yeah, and then moved on to
then ovulation,
which is
it's in your follicular phase a lot. Ovulation
pretty much it's like 12 to 14 to 15 days thereabout. It's the end of the follicular phase, and then ovulation is just after that. So you got 2 days pretty much where you ovulate between days 14, 15, and potentially 16, depending on how the cycle goes. And then moving on to the third phase, which is the luteal phase. So during the luteal phase, what you'll find is estrogen drops pretty rapidly.
Yeah, so that's the feel-good happy hormone.
Yep, and then progesterone ends up increasing.
Quite significantly, quite rapid. They do transition quite rapidly.
Yeah, they do. And there is a period after ovulation in the follicular phase. We've actually named it. It's called the crossover phase. So
the crossroads.
Yeah, the crossroads. I swear to God, right? So as that happens, as those hormones are crossing over,
so estrogen's dropping, which is the feel good, the progesterone, which is rising. The cranky, irritable, like the world's terrible hormone.
Yeah.
They all say the papers, by the way, but this is my interpretation of them.
Yeah. And during that time, Sarah is very irritable.
It's like 1 day.
It's literally 1 day.
2 days post ovulation, there's just 1 day. And I feel it in myself. I'm like, why is everything so annoying? I'm like, like, no, I don't want that. No, don't do that. I don't want that.
Literally, you're just a lot sharper and a lot like, I don't know how to describe it. You're just at my throat a lot.
Irritable.
And there's only so much I can put up with. And it actually happened over the weekend. It happened on Saturday, didn't it?
No, we thought it was.
Oh, we thought it was. Yeah. I think you were just.
I was just cranky that day. Yeah, I don't know why. We didn't really put our finger on it, did we?
No, we didn't. But yeah, during this time, Sarah will be quite cranky, quite irritable, quite tired as well. Your energy is quite low.
Is it? Yeah. I never really paid attention to my energy. I just feel my mood is like, ugh.
Yeah, you just don't really want anything to do with me during that day. During that 1 day. But
the thing is, I still do.
No, I know.
That may be how it feels to you, and I obviously can't argue that, but I definitely am like.
That's my perception.
Kind of need you close, but not too close, but close. Don't go too far.
It's like pull me in, but also like piss off.
It's very conflicting, even for me. I'm like, oh, this is not me. Okay, I'm just going to have to roll with this.
So what I typically do is buy you biscuits, tell you everything that you want to hear, give you, no, that sounds so bad, oh my God. Just say nice things to you, tell you how much I love you, and feed you biscuits and buy you flowers, and just treat you with some more kindness.
We kind of hope that it falls on a weekday most of the time, don't we? Because then it's like,
we don't really spend too much time together.
Yeah, and then it doesn't not that it ruins our weekend, but like, I don't know, if it happens on a weekend, it's like, oh, like I'd rather spend time with you when I'm in my like happy good phases of my cycle, because then I don't know, it just feels nice. I don't like being in that 1 day. That 1 day is horrible. I'm like, who am I? Yeah. Why do I feel like? Why do I hate everything? Like you can't make sense of it. And then when you look at your hormone chart, you're like, it's just that crossroads.
Yeah, that's it.
I used to like be like I would hold a lot of shame for being in that part of my cycle. And I think like because previous partners would not be able to kind of hold me in that space. And not that it's like your or anyone's responsibility as a partner to like tolerate your partner when she's in that phase.
Yeah.
Because it would be hard. Like, you know, you don't have to. You could just be like, hey, I'm just going to go out for a bit. You know, I'm grateful that you don't do that. But like, not that it's the partner's responsibility. Oh,
No, but I always think about how I can love you more or show more affection during that phase because I know you're more cranky,
yeah.
I guess. Maybe not cranky is the wrong word. Maybe you just are less affectionate than what you usually would be. So I feel like, okay, how can I then give more to you to then bring you back up?
Yeah.
Energetically, if that makes sense.
Yeah. But I used to hold a lot of shame for it. And I used to be annoyed at myself and be like, why am I like this? Like, why can't I just be, you know, my usual bubbly self all the time? But like, it's actually okay. Like, I'm not an arsehole. I'm just a bit more irritable. Everyone has a bad day. It doesn't define me. Like you even said it the other day, you were like, hang on, how did you word it? You were like, you said, oh, I just know it's not you. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, it's not really. That's
No.
not like the person that I'm striving to be. I'm not an awful person. I just, you know, like I said, I'm more irritable, but
Yeah.
I don't strive to be an irritable person at all. I strive to be like supportive and safe and like available emotionally and fun. But yeah, like we are women that have 28-day cycles and that isn't going to be possible. So I think you've really allowed for me to like be okay with that. And like, I don't hold shame around it now because yeah, like I said, previous partners would be annoyed at me or would snap back at me and they wouldn't be able to hold me in that emotion or in just in that day.
Yeah.
So then I would just feel guilty or like hold a lot of shame around it. So it's actually been really helpful for me to just accept myself and accept my different phases because you don't get absolutely shaken by it. You're like, you're able to know your worth. You're not like, oh no, maybe like you don't start questioning yourself or doubting our relationship. You just look at it as like a bad day, like, oh, it's just not one of our good days today, and that's okay. And I think that's really helpful for me accepting myself in my cycle. And that's why I wanted to talk about this subject because
it could help.
Yeah, I want other couples to have like this tool or like this knowledge and understanding because yeah, like you both it helps you, doesn't it, to know where I'm at because you're like, okay, it's not personal. It's not actually me. I haven't done anything wrong. It's just that stupid day.
Yeah, no.
Well, not stupid day. It's just that day that happens.
Yeah, I was gonna say that would have been one of my tips for any guy listening to this would be during that day or during any other days where your partner is not, you know, feeling their best energetically, you can really feel it and you can sense it off of them. Really just give them some grace and step back and just not take anything personally at all. That's one thing that I've learned that really helps me stay in a headspace of, okay, cool, like I know Sarah might be snapping at me. I know she might be a little grumpy. She's not really like talking to me as much as what she would. She's not giving me words of affirmation that she usually does.
Yeah, I'm quiet.
However, yeah, you are a lot quieter, but I don't take that personally.
No.
And I know it's just a little phase that you go through, and that's perfectly okay. And it's normal it's the human body, you know. It's amazing that it works in the way it does. And for me, it's a sign of health as well. I feel like if you're not having those ups and downs every so often, or you're having too much, I feel like that's a sign of good health and good fertility.
Well, yeah, it just means
in my head, anyway.
Going through the different hormone phases. On the flip side to that, though, I guess it's really important to note that like you don't actually get to be an asshole, and like you don't actually get to be rude or like really mean or degrading. Like, yes, I'm a bit more snappy and a bit more irritable, but like I would never disrespect you in that phase and use my period or that part of my cycle as like justification for my behavior. And if I acted out of line, I would definitely pull myself in for it. And even in that day, I will say like, oh, I'm sorry, I know I'm just more irritable today, I still love you, like stay with me. Like I'll acknowledge, you know, I'm just a bit more irritable, but it's not an excuse for being a shit partner either.
I think I've been calling you out as well whenever you've maybe snapped at me at a time. I'm like, Sarah, excuse me.
Have you?
I did on the weekend. I was like, excuse me. Or I just like stare. I gave you a look.
I hate the look. It's honestly, you don't have to say anything.
I know. I just give you a look, pierce my lips,
Yeah, you breathe
clear
in,
my
clear your
nostrils.
nostrils. Yeah, I'm like, oh shit.
I did wrong. Oh no.
I think when it happened last time, the other day, I can't remember, you like flicked cold water at me accidentally, and I was like, no, because I didn't want to like we were at the beach, and I was like, I didn't want to get wet at that point, and I was like, no, and you were like, I'm just trying so hard, and I was like, oh no, he's broken, like I've broken him, because you're like, I didn't mean to flick the water at you, and I'm just trying, and I'm trying to be good, and I was like, oh no, it's not your job, like it's okay.
And that was only 9 a.m. as well.
Oh,
Anyway, so phase number 4,
period.
period. So this is the menstruation or menstrual phase, where you bleed, essentially.
Yeah,
Every
happens
Yeah,
month.
it does. So during this time, Sarah will be a lot, if what, energetically a little bit maybe distant, a little bit tired. It can be a bit sooty sometimes.
Yeah,
Whenever you want to slow down a lot more, you want to
you let me
have some
sleep in.
you have some home comforts. You want to sleep in and not train as heavy. You want to treat
I
your
don't
body.
train.
No, you don't. I mean, if anything, you would do some yoga, but
Yeah.
then if that's a very seldom occurrence, I think. Depends on how you feel. But what I tend to notice is whenever that happens, what I typically do is you just get some home comforts and make sure that you are happy and I don't annoy you. I tried on, well, maybe I don't tread on eggshells.
Oh, I hate
actually.
that. Didn't say you tread on eggshells.
No, I
around me.
don't. But I just buy chicken nuggets and watch movies.
Yeah, you just
Really.
probably would be a little bit more patient. But I don't feel like that's my most irritable era. That's my just like I feel flat and deflated era. Not
Yeah.
like overwhelmingly, but I just notice like because I feel the first phase so deeply, like the good happy hormone phase. Like I just notice that there's such a contrast between that phase and like a couple of days before my period or the day that I get my period because the hormones are just so different.
Yeah.
But also, what else do you buy me? You buy me biscuits.
Buy biscuits, buy chicken nuggets.
Chicken nuggets, obviously vegan ones,
Yeah.
in case you didn't know I am vegan.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have this, well, we'll talk about the app again later, but you know when my period's coming because of the app that I have, that you have
I've got it
the
sus
version of
now.
your phone.
I've got it sus. I don't even need to look at it.
You don't.
I haven't looked at it in months.
You just say like, oh, your period must be something,
Like
and
2
then I'm
days
like,
away or a day away, and you're like, no, it's either today or tomorrow, and I'm like, no.
and then
no,
I
it's
look,
not.
and you're right.
I know. Like most of the time, I don't need to look. I can smell it on you.
Oh dear, you can just tell by my
Periods
energy.
attract bears.
Oh, you can smell period on me. That actually sounds disgusting.
I'm
Ew, what are you even saying? You did not mean that. I have good personal hygiene.
No, you don't. I'm just taking a piss. But yeah, no, I've got a dental T now where I can pretty much predict when you're going to be on it and when you need more love and when you need your home comforts and when you need to slow down and which I think is a really good skill to have. So guys out there, if you can really get to grips with your partner's cycle and really hone in on just try and get more aware of where she's at or they're at in their cycle. And that'll give you a better idea on how to give them more love and treat them with more grace if they need it.
And how to not blame yourself, like, and help you to not blame yourself or think that there's something wrong or that you've done something wrong or
it'll make a lot more sense.
So. Yeah. I wish more guys knew.
Me too. And that's why we're trying to educate, aren't we?
This is true.
Aren't we?
I think like as a woman, like just ask what you need. Like if you know your body well enough, like I do, or if you know your period's coming, or you know what kind of part of the month you're going to be needing more or less or something, just ask. Like, yeah, literally just ask.
Yeah.
Don't expect them to know or guess. Like it's great now that Lewis has literally got this sixth sense or some sort of superpower to know where I'm at. But for those that don't have a partner that has that ability, like just let them know and just ask. And it is really unfortunate that, like I said, we live in a man's world where that's not even considered, that we operate on like different seasons basically throughout the month as a woman.
Absolutely.
But all we can do is ask and maybe try and explain the different phases to your partner as well. It's not like, guys that are listening, it's not a joke. Like, it's not just like, oh, they're using their period as an excuse. Like, it's actually a thing that does affect a woman's body and mood and energy. So the sooner you can like work with that and learn to respect that, probably the happier that your relationship is going to be. Well, happier.
No, I totally agree.
Yeah, it's definitely the support from a partner that I didn't know I needed.
There you go.
Boom.
Boom. So that's the 4 phases of the period and how I sort of go through Sarah's 4 weeks.
Did I tell you that you're the best man in the world?
Almost every day.
Oh yeah. Okay, good. Just in case you forgot today.
And I believe it. Thank you.
Good.
Okay, so moving on to
Tip of the week.
tip of the week. So tip of the week this week is to guys and girls both use download Natural Cycles.
This isn't a sponsored ad.
It's not a sponsored
We wish it was.
but we honestly wish we could get sponsored by them. But nevertheless, it is a fantastic app to track where you're at in your cycle. It gives you a lot more information on your periods and the sort of different phases that you're in. It's also a really great form of contraception.
It's actually FDA approved. So Food and Drug Association approved as a contraception.
Which
so
is mad.
Yeah, so with with effective perfect use, it's 98% effective as a contraception.
Yeah, so pretty much within this app, it'll give you either red days or green days. So in the red days, it's typically when ovulation occurs in the women's cycle. So that's when you need to be a lot more careful when it comes to sex. And then within the green days, it is when you
doesn't matter. You don't need to
be a bit more careless.
Yeah.
And we've literally been doing it since we've been together.
Since our relationship, yeah. So you basically every morning before you wake up, you have to take your temperature, or there are other like devices such as like your Apple Watch, the Oura Ring, that you can use to take your basal body temperature, which is basically your temperature first thing when you wake up before you've even moved. And it's actually so interesting to see how your temperature changes throughout your cycle, but it basically uses your temperature to determine where you are. And there's like a baseline. When your temperature goes over the baseline, you've ovulated. And when it goes under the baseline, your period will come that day or the next day. And it's literally spot on. Like, I know the day my period's come in because I've taken my temperature and it's told me. But yeah, it's really, really awesome if you don't want to take fake hormones, which I moved away from years and years and years ago. But it's just great that it's actually approved as a contraceptive and has such a high percentage like effectiveness. If you use it with average use, apparently it's 93% effective. But if you use it with perfect use, it's 98%.
Still such a high.
And if you think about the pill, for example, I think that's like 96% effective.
Which is wild.
Yeah.
Get on that, and we're not.
And at least you don't have to have fake hormones. Yeah. You learn about your body, like it teaches you lots of different things. But yeah, like highly, highly recommend. I do think I have a code actually. No, I don't have a code. I can send out an email using your email address or something. So if anyone wants to like get a free thermometer and a free month or something, let me know. Happy to send you an email. But yeah, highly recommend. And the good thing is, like Lewis said, it has the partner version as well. So Lewis can see where I'm at in my cycle, even though he has his sixth sense now. It doesn't need to use an app to see where I'm at.
No.
At the beginning, it was really helpful for you to understand where I'm at.
Like where I'm at, it gives me a lot of information on it as well.
And also like what day we're on, so that you know whether we're being careful that day or not.
Yeah. So
yeah, on red days, you're supposed to completely abstain or use a condom or something. Yeah. And then green days, you can just do what you want.
Leave it in.
We're not actually fertile. We're not actually fertile every day of the month. And that's like a common misconception. It's like, I think they use it almost as a scare tactic for children when they're in school, is to make you think that you can get pregnant every single part of the month, which you can't. Like, you can only get pregnant around ovulation time. But that's why it's good to use this app, because it helps you to determine when you're going to ovulate.
Exactly.
And when is, safe or not safe. You can also use it as a trying to get pregnant tool as well. You can like switch it over to like contraception or actively trying for a baby. Like, there's different modes on there.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
So depending on where you're at, but yeah, highly, highly recommend. Been using that since for a year now.
Yeah,
Rate
No.
it.
absolutely right. That so, yeah. So that is our tip of the week this week. Which
Do you have a weird moment of the week?
do I have a weird moment of the week?
You better have. I do.
Do you?
Yeah.
You should have told me before we started that you didn't have one.
No, I didn't. I said I've got one.
Oh, I got it. Even today, it happened today.
Oh,
Where so Sarah's got this thing whenever we buy Biscoff, she eats it by the teaspoon load, right? And just sits with a snigger on her face and starts laughing and then eats all this Biscoff, right? So I decided
Biscoff spread, like from the jar.
yeah, the spread. So I decided to hide it and it's been hidden for about a week.
No, it's about 2 or 3 weeks.
It's been 2 weeks, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
When did we make those brownies? That was like 3 weeks
Yeah,
ago.
true. I'm a good hider, so
No, you're an awful hider.
excuse me, did
Tell
you find
her-
it though?
I knew exactly. Tell the rest of the story.
Okay, so I hid it, and today when we were cleaning, all I heard was a big laugh and a snigger, and then all of a sudden I pop out the bathroom and Sarah is on the couch with the dog, both of them eating Biscoff out of
Gigi
this
likes
jar.
Biscoff.
So yeah, that's my weird moment of the week. So.
But this is the funny thing, right? Every time, I think there's 3 times, no, there's definitely 2 times I recall that I've opened the wardrobe.
Yeah.
Maybe there's 3. And you've gone, no, you haven't found, like the bedroom wardrobe, by the way.
Oh yeah.
And he goes, oh, you haven't found the Biscoff yet, have you? And I'm like, right, well, this dickhead obviously doesn't realize how obvious he is because I now know that it's in the wardrobe. So today, when I just really fancy some Biscoff, but literally without even thinking, without even trying,
Right, so
opened the wardrobe, shifted his shorts over to one side, and there was the jar. I didn't even have to try. It was literally right in front of me. So then I was like, oh, do you know what? I'm just going to sit on the couch and eat this until he notices and confiscates it from me again.
well, guess what? I've hidden it. You're not going to find it now.
Oh, now you're the sniggering evil laugher. I hate this thing.
Let's go. Okay, what's your weird moment of the week for me?
So yesterday we did like a movie day at home and it was so nice.
Yeah.
And we just wanted to watch Disney movies. Like sometimes we just like to watch Disney movies. So we watched this new one called Wish. And then I was like, can we watch Fox and the Hound? And if anyone has watched that movie, Fox and the Hound, oh my God, it is pure heartbreak. Like I forgot how sad it was. Like it's so freaking sad.
It's so sad.
Oh God.
Even the start of it.
Even the start, like there was, before the sad bit even happened, because I knew the sad bit was coming straight away, I was like, but yeah, literally both of us snuggled up on the bed, crying our eyes out. It's a cartoon about a dog and a fox from the 80s. And Lewis and I are breaking our little hearts.
Yep.
And yeah, I could just feel you snuffling into my back because you were spooning me, and I was like, "Oh, we're so sad."
Yeah. I was honestly blubbering like a baby.
It hurt. Like I was soaking wet with tears.
My throat felt like it was on fire.
I couldn't even breathe. You know, and like it was one of those. I was like, God, what were we doing to kids in the 80s with those Disney films?
It was an ugly cry, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Cry moment.
Yeah. So if you're looking for a good cry, Fox and the Hound, Disney movie, it's your one.
Yeah.
It is your one.
Could not agree more. All right. So moving on to
5p's.
Jeez, 5p's.
Moving on to 6p. No, every week.
This is gonna keep growing, but yeah. On to our 5p's.
5p's.
I was gonna say 4 there.
Get the little plum.
Yeah. Fuck the plum. I'm joking.
Go.
Okay, so what was your pit of the week?
What was my pit of the week? Oh, I ordered new trainers, and how long have I been looking for these trainers?
Yeah.
Right, I've been looking. They've been in my wish list in the Iconic for months, and I thought, I'm gonna try and find them in the store. I think we spoke about this on another episode. Like we went into like 8 different stores to try and find these trainers. They didn't have them, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna have to order them online. So I ordered them online, waited for them to arrive. It was the Easter holiday, so they were like a couple of days later than I hoped they would be. I was getting impatient. They arrived. I was so excited to open them. And they were literally nothing like, like the picture. They were meant to be white and navy New Balance trainers. And I'm not even joking, they literally had silver paint brushed all over the trainer.
That's disgusting.
What? Like, you can't even see that in the picture. It doesn't say that in the description. But though I was like, is this a joke? Like, I don't even know if it was a joke or not. Like,
they were rotten.
Yeah, like the trainer themselves was nice. And like the white and the navy was nice. But then what the hell was that silver pin?
I have no idea.
It was the most weird thing. So I was like,
Mm.
oh my God, you are going straight back. So yeah, they're going back to the office. And that was probably my pit. I've had a good week. So, if that's my only concern, it's not a bad week.
Yeah, it's true. True. I feel like I've had a pretty good week as well. But I think the pit of my week was the rain. So the rain, it pissed it down one day and it made it really inconvenient to work, and I just really didn't enjoy it.
Not fun when you're home, it's nice.
When I'm home, it's good,
Mm.
but like when you have to work outside, it's just not ideal. But anyway, peak.
My peak was probably date night again.
Mm,
We've done well with our date nights recently.
there
We
we
went to this like indoor market called Miami Marquetta, and they have like heaps of food stalls. They had this like musician playing like old jazzy music, but he was playing it on a guitar, and it was like really cool at the front on the front stage.
Yeah, it was.
And then they got the food stalls, and then they had like all these little like market stalls as well, like local businesses selling like pottery and jewelry and art, and
Yeah, it's
they're
cool.
really cute. And then at the back there was a DJ,
Mhm.
and there's like a few different bars in there. And we don't drink, but like we still like to change the environment every now and then and just be in like a cool environment. So we
Yeah.
went into like one of the little rooms and had some nice food, and then we had a caricature drawing done.
Oh my God, yeah, I forgot about that.
So there's like an artist there doing like, those little goofy cartoons where you have like big eyes and like big ears and stuff. So we had one of them done. But yeah, it was just a really fun date night. I really enjoyed it. It wasn't like it was nice that it was all in one place, wasn't it? Like
Yeah.
the activity, which was basically like the drawing / shopping, and the dinner, because we always do like both, don't we? They were all in under one roof.
Yeah, it was nice to be in one place, and then actually, do you know what was even nicer? Driving to date night together.
Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to do. Yeah, I literally thought about it, because we always end up going straight from work, don't we, in our
Yeah,
separate cars, and then we've got to drive home. It was nice to drive together and drive home together. You're right.
Oh, that was very nice.
Yours?
So my pick of the week was pick of the week. Energetically, I felt a lot more alive this past week. I think I've been sleeping better, and but yeah, I think just my overall energy has been pretty good. This week I've got it down to a T now, I think. So plus, typically I get up quite a lot during the night for PP, but the past couple of nights I haven't got up at all, which has been really nice. So
Beautiful, lovely.
welcoming.
Yeah, your energy has been noticed.
Yeah.
It's like you've come out of your period era.
Yeah,
It's like you're
true.
in your post-period follicular phase.
Yeah, I'm in my energetic phase.
Yeah.
Right now, so.
I'm here for you in all your phases, darling.
Oh, thank you so much. You're the best woman in the world.
Oh my God, thank you.
So, what's your papaya?
My papaya. Well, we drive past this park all the time. It's called Koala Park. And like we literally drive past it every day to go to work, every day coming home from work. And I've always wondered, like, what is in this park? Like, there's actually koalas around as well. Like, there's signs everywhere saying, like, slow down, koala, slow down, koala. So we were driving past it on Saturday, and I said to Lewis, like, can we just stop at this park on the way back and like just go in it? Like, I just want to go in it and say that I've been in it and see what's in there, because I drive past every day and I'm so curious. So we did, and we just kept walking and walking, and then like all of a sudden it was quite horizontal. No, it was quite vertical. Like we were walking up this big hill, and both of us were just in like sliders. Like we were not in appropriate footwear at all. It wasn't a well-walked path. And I was thinking, oh my God, there's probably going to be bloody snakes and all sorts in here, because it was literally like bushland, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
And then the next minute, like we were at the top of this massive hill, and I was just like, how has this just turned into like a hiking adventure? We were gone for like 45 minutes.
We were.
All I wanted to do was have a look at this park, but then you're just curious, and you're like, oh, well, what's just at the top of this little bit of hill? And oh, look, another hill. Let's keep going up to the top of that bit of hill. And
well, we might as well reach
might
the
as well go
top
to the
now.
top now. Yeah, it was so random. I was like, why are we hiking in sliders? I think I was in like a dress as well. I was like, this is not appropriate.
Yeah.
There was a really beautiful view at the top there, wasn't there?
Yeah, it was gorgeous.
I've never seen Gold Coast from that angle.
Neither. It was so nice.
Special.
No. So yeah.
That me?
That was a good fun. So my papaya of the week, a little bit of a sad one. So when was it? Saturday morning or Sunday? I think it might have been Sunday morning. Saturday morning. When we came back or something like that, and there was an ambulance and a fire truck outside.
Yeah.
And one of our neighbors, he must have had a fall or something like that. But yeah, it was just in our block. There's like a fire brigade and ambulance crew out there. So
Lewis is also the nosiest neighbor in the world. I was like, give the guy some respect and like stop staring. He's like literally at the bedroom window laying. In fact, this is what you did. You were laying on the bed, like peeping out. And then so that I wouldn't be annoyed at you or like say, no, I stop looking. You were like, oh, can you just like pluck this hair out of my back, please, while I lay on the bed? And I was like, You literally just want to lay on the bed and look out the window, don't you? And you're like, yeah. You're so nosy.
I am, yeah. I am super. I just like to know things.
I mean, I hope he's okay. Like,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
absolutely sending love and
healing vibes.
healing vibes to him. But
Mhm.
yeah, that was my papaya of the week. It's
Fair.
not often that happens. Hey?
No, like literally
So-
a fire service showed
Yeah,
up
look
because they
at-
had to carry him down the stairs. So.
Yeah. Anyway, sending love. Pineapple.
Well, it's 3 pineapples. It's not just 1 pineapple.
True.
I am grateful for Saturday. We actually had some sun. I feel like we haven't had much sun recently.
No.
We had a lot of rain.
Yeah,
like considering we live in the sunshine state,
Yeah.
where the frick is the sunshine? But yeah, on Saturday we actually managed to have some beach time, and we couldn't remember a time when we both had just laid on the beach next to each other, just us two, had a swim. Like it feels like it's been ages.
Yeah, it has
and
been.
it's just been summer, so I don't know what's gone on. The weather's been weird, but I was just really grateful for a sunny beach day, and I topped up my tan, and you did as well. We were
Nice.
getting a bit pale.
Yeah, we were.
I'm also really grateful for my clients at work. I work in child protection, so I work with like parents and children that are like being removed or being reunified with their families. But some of my clients are actually amazing, like how they keep so positive and how they work so hard to like meet child protection goals, and how they've all like experienced a lot of trauma and like childhood trauma or domestic violence relationships or poor mental health, but they still, for their children, like just keep going. Like they're so amazing. So I'm really grateful that I get to work with such wonderful humans. Yeah. And I'm also really grateful for being able to listen to my body. I think I mentioned this earlier, like I am very in tune with what my body needs, when I need to rest, when I can do more, when I can do less. And I've really, really focused on that since probably December, would you say?
Yeah, I think just before Christmas.
I quit HIIT. So I quit high intensity
interval training
or any kind of high intensity training. And I now just do strength training, Pilates, and yoga every now and then. And I feel so much better. Like I'm so glad I listened. My periods are more regular. My mood. I think I've lost like 4 or 5 kilos, which was just in water weight that my body was just retaining from being under so much stress.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really grateful that like I have that knowledge and that ability to like listen to my body and then to actually see the results as well. Like to see the benefits of like tuning in.
Yeah.
That me?
There's heaps of benefits of just tuning into your own body, hey? Heaps.
Yeah. What's yours?
Okay, so my pineapples are, I was really grateful for the rejuvenating Sunday that we had doing nothing.
Nothing. Not crying to movies.
Yeah, as much as I've been quite a busybody since, I needed that slow day.
Yeah, I think we both did. Look how productive we've been today.
Yeah, it's been wild. But yeah, my other one, my second pineapple is for you. So I'm grateful for you supporting me and just being my rock. Always. And my last one is having resources to work towards one of my goals.
Yeah.
At the moment, which I will not tell anybody yet, but yeah, I'm grateful that I now have the resources to put towards that.
High five. Hope you heard that. That was a high five.
All right, plum.
Okay, my plum. I really want to get a doggy friend for Chi-Chi.
Oh yeah.
I started looking last night, and now it's like, oh, okay, I want one.
Now you're down a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Of wanting another Chihuahua.
We've already named him though.
Yeah, we have Finley.
Yeah.
Little Fin.
Baby Finley. Chi-Chi, do you like baby Finley?
Yeah, she's looking at us.
Their head up now from the couch,
yeah.
What?
Yeah. My gosh. So my plum is for a continuation of the stability and the energy I had last week.
Yeah.
The continuation of that.
Yeah.
This week. So that's my intention for this week.
Nice. And that's a wrap. That's episode 10 done and dusted.
Sure.
We have done 10 episodes. And if you are still listening to this show, Thank you so much.
From the very start as well.
Yeah, I know.
We appreciate.
We don't appreciate. We appreciate you.
We appreciate you.
And we'd love to hear from you. Any questions, any thoughts or suggestions on what the episodes look like? We are here to hear them all. We hope that you enjoyed this episode. We considered what you asked for, which was to hear like guy and girl perspective. So we thought, what better topic than periods? Because they're happening.
Exactly. And just for a bit of context, I am a women's health coach as well.
Oh, yeah.
So that plays into it too. And that has helped me massively, but it's also helped me translate that into simpler terms because I've read a lot of data and studies and stuff like that. So if you want any more information, then please reach out.
Yes. All right. See you in episode 11.
Peace.
Hey guys, thanks so much for being here. We appreciate you so bloody much. You are the best.
If you enjoyed this episode, please follow us on Apple or Spotify, whatever you prefer. And don't forget to check out the Instagram page at TDHR Podcast.
Information on how you can write your questions into us will also be in the show notes. Till next time. Mwah.